we haven't taken this piece out. We've put some temporary caps in there so we didn't get any dust in there when I was sanding this out. We can now cut these tie wraps off there, and we're going to double check inside here if our race is good. Now we're going to also at the same time, I'm going to put our finger in here so we don't blow it all over the place. I've already done the other roll, so that's nice and clear, there's no dirt or debris in that. And then we'll put a little bit of grease on those shafts, on those balls. Notice I'm not putting the seal in. On some of them old boxes you had to put the seal in first, so we'll put this in, guide it in. There, that's that one in. And then we'll do the same with this one. I'm just going to wash off that oil. Be careful when you blow these off with a blowgun, because once upon a time I did it the wrong way around and I blew the bloody ball and it shot across there. I had to find another ball for it. Don't let your balls get lost. Yeah, we'll just put a little bit of grease in there to hold it all together so it's got some initial lubrication, because sometimes when you put these things together you have no idea how long they're going to be sat on a shelf dry. Well, that's no good, so we'll put a little bit of grease on them. So we'll slip that into there. That's good. We've already got this piece, so again we'll just put some lithium grease on there and on the threads this time, because so they don't go all rusted up. And we'll put this in. Now, where's that little tool I had yesterday? People will want to know about this little tool, won't they? How big it is. I'll get my measure out. 42mm across the flats, and this was machined to 19mm for a socket, or 3/4 of an inch. Doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, I should have a 3/4mm spanner now. Now, if everything goes to plan, when you put the seal in, it will push itself in nice and square. Now we're not going to do that with a gun, we're going to do that by hand. So we're going to nip it till it nips onto the shaft. See how loose it is? So the seal's now going into place. It's a bit tricky to do. It's tricky to try and keep this bloody thing square because it's... Ooh, getting there. Listen. Now, you should put a little bit of tension on here. That's too much. Back it off a bit. There, you hear it? I'm happy with that. So we finished with that section. You're supposed to put a gauge on it and put preload onto it, but to be honest, I've tried all that, and you know, by feeling these things here, you get to know when it's too tight or too slack. You don't want it too tight, that's the problem. Anyway, so we'll hammer that up, I think, and just lock that nut up, lock that washer up. The thing is, you can't adjust this really once the selector shaft's in. It's no good. So the next thing we're going to do is, well, we'll put the seal in the bottom, not in your bottom actually. We'll put the seal in here whilst we're messing about with seals. Again, the lips go towards the top. Don't put them upside down. You can see how sort of easy it is to get in there when there's no shaft. They are quite easy, but you know, I've done them on the car, I've done them on the bench, I've done them all sorts of places. Now, where's the circlip for that? Of course, we didn't get a circlip with that kit, so that's why you never throw anything out. That's a bit grotty. I'm not going to power wash it off. I'm going to wash it off in the parts cleaner, then I'm going to blast it. So there we go, all nice and clean. We'll put this in, and that snap ring should go down and fit square. Did you see it open? That's that done. Right, so the next thing we can do is put the rack into here. Now somewhere I should have a special bolt. Tis here. And the rack is here. Ooh, that's still warm from the warming up process. Now, oh, another thing before I go any further. This is set up nice without the seal. Alright, I haven't put the seal in because the seal will drag and it'll give you a false reading, but I'll take all the backlash out and a little bit, but I wouldn't go overly wild and tighten it up because your steering will be so tight. Right, next, getting this in. Now there is a measurement, I think it's 69 millimeters from here to the edge of the steering box here, I think. And the idea is that when we put the selector shaft in, it engages correctly with the teeth. Alright? You know, like I did one the other day and I had it out and it was hitting there and it wouldn't turn up, it was all locked up. I wasn't paying attention, I was trying to do a quick job. Again, I don't know why I bother with that lid. Oh, it's to keep dust out. We're going to put some grease on here. Just a little covering. We're also going to put some grease on here. Now there's a little internal chamfer on there, so we're alright with that. A bit of coating, that's good. Now, this bit, this flat bit, goes towards this threaded bit here. Doesn't go the other way around. In fact, you can't go wrong really because it was only going one way. Now this might be a bit tight. There you go. That's lovely, that feels nice. And there you can see, I hope you can see, there's the rack in the bottom. Can you see it? Not in my bottom, but it's in the bottom of there. I'll turn it around a bit so you can see it. We are not going to put the cover on yet. The next thing we're going to do is put the selector shaft in, and this is kind of interesting to do because we've got to set up here. Let's zoom in a bit. We've got to set up the box here so this worm is at its smallest point from the end. You know, you can see if you did it this way, there's a big lump of metal sticking here. Here. See that distance there? So you've got to turn it around so that is as short as possible. Wait a minute. There. Is it there? Yeah, the end of the screw thread just here. That means when you put our rack in, it will pass by here. Now I know it'll pass by here and engage with the teeth at the bottom of here. I'm not sure if you can see those teethy. There's the teeth, you see, sticking through there. Yeah, that's your rack. So that's sticking through there. That's maybe it's a better shot. So this is where the tricky bit comes in, because now we've got to align everything up. Now, what was catching me out when I took this to bits was the casting here has got this little corner on, which I can't see around the reason why it's on there, but anyway, it's on. So we're going to put some grease in the needle rollers. Again, I'm using grease because I don't know, this could be stood on a shelf for years and I don't want to put oil in it. Like I say, oil that's like ATF, but I will be testing it anyway. But this is just for you if you're not going to test it on your car. You just don't know how long you're going to be there for. And we'll put some grease on this here, and it'll make it slide through the thing. And it doesn't worry about the grease because it'll all get washed away with the ATF. There we go. Now, this is the fun bit. I'm going to do this. So I've got my ball there. I've got my shaft there. It's easy to turn it. Oh, 69 they said, didn't they? 69. Why didn't they say 70? Oh, you know. $69, eh? 69.5. 69. Nip it up a bit. There. Now, according to that wants to come forward a little bit more. I'll probably move the worm again. There. Now, with a bit of luck, this should just drop straight in. This is almost, this bearing at the top here is almost like a sealed bearing. It won't, this roller here, you can't do anything with nerve gun. You might have to move this just ever so slightly. It's not catching on here at all. And remember, we've got the sealing, so it's going to be a bit tricky. There it goes. Is it? Oh no, it's come through the seal. I was fighting against the seal. Now I have to fight against this rack thing here. Of course the seal's pretty tight. I'm just out a little bit on the tooth. Have I got a screwdriver? Ah, yeah. I can move this rack around a little bit. Oh, what a piece of crap. According to my calculations, that should go down. Oh, it's hitting the bench. Yeah, should go down. That should be. Oh yeah, that's going down. Like I say, don't use a hammer on the... sorry about this if you've missed it, because I was concentrating. Don't hit the threads or don't hit the shaft with your hammer. It still needs to go down a bit. Ah, these are the ones that Britpart supply, look, you see, they supply that type. Good. But we can use it just to tap this down. There we go, see? It's all down and fitting now. That is good. So now we can take that off. I think that's all these nuts are good for. As I probably mentioned to you before, I've done it time and time again, I've forgot where I've been now, but the cover here has got a little recess, it's a little chamfer inside there, and you can see there's a matching chamfer there. So the idea is that when it's tightened together, this nylon will compress around the thread. When you've got a Britpart nut like this, it's just flat, there's no seal at the bottom, so pressure can come up through the seal. It is a lot of pressure in there, believe me, it's an awful lot of pressure. So that's that there.